performance fabrics, specifically performance polyester. I'm going to just give it a few seconds to let everybody enter into the session. We're so thankful to have all of you. We appreciate everybody's time today. You know, for those of you that have day jobs or busy, we really appreciate you guys spending the next 45, 50 minutes with us. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am Jennifer Johnson. I am one of Stahls' territory managers in the Midwest. I cover about 6 states. I am so excited today to be here with Stephen Baare from S&S Activewear. Stephen, if you want to introduce yourself.
Absolutely. So welcome, everybody. We're super excited to work again with Stahls. It's such a pleasure to see, you know, the blanks that we provide get decorated and how easy it is. So what I do for S&S is I head up all the corporate training and development of our sales division and have a lot of hand in dealing with the brands on what's coming in new and, you know, how those fabrications are developed. So just excited to be here. So
cool. Thank you so much, Stephen. We love having you. Thank you for donating these fantastic garments. I'm really excited today to show you these 3 kind of top sellers that Stephen and I hand selected. We're going to decorate all 3 of them, give you some tips and tricks along the way and why we chose what we did. It's just going to be really fun. So just a few quick housekeeping things. If you guys have any questions, we have Vicky Nardini in the background. She's going to be helping to answer questions. She might be interjecting every once in a while just to ask a question out loud. But if you guys can all put your questions in the Pathable platform chat, that would be great. For any of you guys that have been attending all day, I'm sure you're already aware, we've got some really cool marketing kit specials. Definitely take a look at those, take advantage of those. They're amazing. We've got some heat press specials. So for any of you that are in the market for a heat press, I'll kind of talk a little bit about the heat press I'm going to be using today, but take a look at those. And like I said, any questions you guys have, just put them in the chat and we'll get them answered. So without further ado, I am going to share a few slides. They're not going to be too many because I want to get to the fun stuff, which is the decorating. I'm going to share these slides real quick here, just to kind of walk through this with you guys. Bear with me. There we go. So how to start a t-shirt business from your home, right? That's really the overarching theme of today's event. And then our session is how to print top selling tees, specifically sports performance t-shirts, all around synthetic, 100% polyester. So Stephen, if you want to kind of walk through the key features of why performance polyester.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. So why performance polyester? So it is come up in the sports world. So it used to be when you looked at a performance tee, it was solely for sports. But what we're going to demonstrate today is it can leave sports and then go into a lifestyle mode because of the functionality of performance polyester. The number one thing you hear out there is it needs to be moisture wicking. And what that is it's actually gaining the sweat and then wicking the moisture away from your body and allowing it to evaporate, creating that cooling effect. But now, you know, manufacturers have stepped it up because what comes with sweating is odor, right? So with having a 100% polyester fabric, you know, it's very durable. So it can be washed multiple times, but they add antimicrobial fabrications into the performance tee to kind of battle that odor. So it doesn't allow it to sit into the fabric. So it washes out. So that's a real convenient situation there. And a lot of these sports tees, and several we're going to look at today, have ergonomic design. So these guys have now designed the tee for the movement of the sport. So if it's a training tee, they may drop the shoulders, make a raglan cut on it to have more movement into it. But what's really evolved in this performance category is it's a comfortable shirt. Jennifer and I were talking, like, you're going to see a shirt today, and she's like, oh my God, this is so soft. Because people think poly, and you think of the old polyester suits and everything, and it's scratchy. Not the case anymore. I mean, these fabrics are weaved really tight to create that soft feel. So a lot of people use this as a base layer, great base layer. We had kind of already touched on multiple washes, but polyester will hold color longer. So you've seen it. It started with kind of t-shirts going into a 50-50 blend. I know you guys have already maybe sat through 100% cotton tee seminar, but now the 50-50s, now you go into 100%. So less fading. So that's another reason they're so popular is when you look at a sports team, the uniforms have to be uniform. So the red has to stay that red color just in case somebody new joins onto the team. You issue them a new shirt that red matches. So, and I think, you know, everything about it is staying cool and comfortable. And here we are, performance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And talk a little bit about positioning performance tees.
Yeah, so I think when you look at the performance category, it's important to look at who the customer is, right? Figure out the persona, what are they using it for? Or it could be multiple purposes that they have. So here I just put a couple examples of, on the sports side, you're looking at on-field, on water, on mountain, on course. But then you scoot to the right of the slide and it's lifestyle. It's off the field. It's being cool and comfortable off the field as well. And then off water, everything is gone very athleisure. And so these performance tees fit in just about any job that your customer brings to you. So
absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool.
And then we're going to dive into the three that we selected today to decorate. So I'll let Stefan kind of briefly describe each one. And then as I'm decorating later on in our session, he can really dive into the nuts and bolts and help answer, you know, any questions that you might have, burning questions you might have about each style.
Absolutely. What we took here is some top performers from popular brands in that sports performance category. Gildan, the performance t-shirt, the 42,000, it's been in the market for some time, but what consistently grows in this brand and with Gildan is their color selection. So you're looking at well over 20 colors to fit your need. And Jennifer picked the safety green color. And this, will jump into all the features and benefits, but this, when you think of safety green, you automatically, or most, think of construction. This one has actually been colored to where it's ANSI certified. And just to give you kind of a quick background on ANSI certification and when you need it, it's really, to put it simply, anywhere there's a moving vehicle, you need to have ANSI certified product to protect that workplace. So we'll jump into all the features and benefits as we print these, which will be fun. Augusta Sportswear. Here's another great sportswear brand. Really came into this channel decades ago. They've been a leader. They concentrate on what I said earlier, uniforms being uniform and color. So to prevent dye migration. So here we have the next gen. That's their technology to really hold that color. The wicking t-shirt. And this is the popular 790. And this is going back to when I said ergonomic design. This is where it's more of an athletic cut for that performing athlete on the field. And then the newcomer, which we're excited about, is Paragon. Paragon is based out of North Carolina, and they specialized, they were born in sport shirts, meaning polos, but they've really gravitated into this fishing shirt category. And their factory does a ton of private label for the likes of the performance fishing gear from Columbia. They do stuff for North Face, but they have their own brand, which we're concentrating on today. We're going to be looking at Style 200, the Islander performance t-shirt. And where this one we'll touch on is it's 50 plus UPF sun protection. And it's also moisture wicking and antimicrobial, but this is kind of their lead in. So when you look at kind of just these three, trust me, there are hundreds more that we could get into, but when we look at these three, each one kind of has a specialty of its own. So we're happy to bring them to you.
Yep, absolutely. And like Stefan said, we were talking prior to the session, and obviously I have all three here to decorate. Man, you guys, these are some really nice styles. Gildan's been around forever. Well, Augusta too, but this Gildan garment, you guys, it almost feels like cotton. It's just so breathable and lightweight. And the other two are really cool cut styles, like just great brands and great styles. So definitely jot those down, give them a try. We're going to segue now into recommended products. You know, we really like to drive home at Stahls, making sure that you marry the right heat transfer technology, whether that's a screen printed transfer, a vinyl transfer, a digital transfer, with the right fabric. You just want to make sure, you know, if you take nothing else away from our session today, you know, making sure whenever you're dealing with synthetics like 100% performance polyester, you know, synthetics don't like a lot of heat. They want to scorch. They want to give you a box mark or a platen mark. You know, there's a lot of different terminology kind of for the same thing. So really making sure that when you get a project or an order or a request for 100% performance polyester, that you take a look at what that product is that you're going to put on it and make sure it applies at a nice low temperature. You know, they range. Not all polyesters are created equal. I would say a nice threshold is about 325 degrees or less. There are going to be some performance polyesters out there that can only take 275 degrees or even 265 degrees, whereas other polyesters can go up to that, you know, 325 degrees. We've got a nice selection of products here, and I picked all 6 of these because they really do apply at a nice low temperature. The 3 that we're going to be showcasing today, just because I love them a lot, we're going to be showcasing our 3M Reflective on that neon Gildan garment. Because it's ANSI certified, so is 3M. So it's just a nice marriage of product to fabric. So we're going to put some 3M Reflective on that. Then we're going to move into the Augusta garment, the red garment, and we're going to put our beautiful silicone vinyl on that. We call it Silicone 200. If you guys haven't tried this product yet, definitely give it a try. Vicki can put a link to the product landing page in the chat. It's beautiful. It's got this really unique, rubbery, soft, stretchable dye migration blocker benefits and attributes to it. And then the last product that we're going to demo is on the Paragon shirt, and that's going to be our Ultra Wheat. That is our vinyl that applies at the lowest possible temperature of 260 degrees. It is a beautiful product, you guys. It's matte, it's lightweight, it's soft, it's breathable. I mean, it's just such a high performing vinyl in comparison to the vinyl of the 80s. You know, it's just light years ahead. So it's a great product. And then, as I mentioned before, you know, really, truly the key with polyester is to prevent scorching. So making sure you're choosing a low temperature product, whether that's a heat transfer vinyl, a digital transfer, or a screen printed transfer. The lower the temperature, the more ideal it's going to be. You know, applying with lower heat. So you can see here in the pictures, we've got our lower heated platens. We call them our power platens. That's where you can actually drop in lower heat technology, a lower heated platen into your press and effectively sandwich the heat transfer onto the garment, and you can lower the top heat. For any of you that want information on that, I can send it after the session. We can send you links. If you have a Hotronix heat press, all of them but the Fusion are compatible with our power platens, so we can get you all that information and pricing if you want it. And then making sure you're using your correct application instructions. I tell people heat pressing is like baking a cake. You got to follow the recipe, right? For it to turn out well, have durability, longevity, nice wear and wash. Following your application instructions is key. And then utilizing accessories to help isolate the print area. That might be interchangeable platens, cover sheets, heat printing pillows, all sorts of tools that we've created to really empower you to be a successful, confident heat print decorator. So let's get to decorating, the fun stuff. All right. Okay, so to start, as I had mentioned earlier, I am using a Hotronix AutoClam. It's our 16 by 20 footprint. It's the largest footprint that we make. I love this press. Guys, I'm in my home. I'm in a home office. I don't have a whole lot of space. This press is compact. It's easily movable. It's best with two people, but I can move it. I'm using our counter caddy accessory to make the garment threadable, and I'll explain what that means when I go ahead and thread the garment on. And by AutoClam, we simply mean you manually engage the press. It engages. It has an auto timer on it. Once it's done counting down, it will go beep, 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 and then auto release, which is great if you're multitasking, you've got kids, dogs, phones ringing, you can't stand by your press. It's a great, great feature to have. And then like all of our Hotronix brand of presses, it's got the quick change release feature for interchangeable platens so that you can decorate button downs, quarter zips, bags, backpacks, smaller youth sizes, all sorts of great things. So to start, we've got our Gildan garment. You guys, I wish you could be here in my home with me. This garment literally feels like cotton. It's just the greatest feeling garment. I might have to make this like my sleep shirt. It's so comfortable. So you just simply open up your garment, right? And this is what we mean by threading. Now, a lot of you at home or in your office might be watching this going, oh, my press doesn't do that. I can't thread my garment on. I just lay my garment typically with the collar in the back. That's okay. Everybody's got to start somewhere, I always tell people money doesn't grow on trees, and if you've got maybe a cheaper import press or a little Amazon press or something you picked up at Hobby Lobby or something, everybody's got to start somewhere. But I can't advise enough, save your pennies, really truly invest in a quality heat press when the time is right and when you can afford it. You will never regret a quality heat press, one that you can thread garments on, you have the reliability, you have the peace of mind knowing that you've got even temperature, even disbursement of pressure. It's a game changer. So threading a garment like this allows you to get all of the seams, if there were any buttons, collars, all of that off the platen. It just makes it really easy to decorate a garment. And then we decorate upside down. A lot of people kind of go, oh my God, I could never do that. Honestly, it just takes a couple of times and you'll get the hang of it. So we're going to load this puppy on. As I had mentioned, we're going to demonstrate our 3M reflective on this. This is a piece of craft paper cover sheet. We also sell Teflon cover sheets, heat printing pillows, all sorts of fun tools that really help make you successful. I happen to personally love our craft paper. It doesn't get hot like Teflon cover sheets do. And it's just great, really easy, reusable, very inexpensive. I just love it. So I'm going to place this on here. Little tip for you guys, always recommend preheating your garments, whether you're dealing with cotton, 50-50, tri-blends, 100% poly, anything. You want to preheat your garment. Wick away any moisture that might be trapped in there, get any wrinkles out of there, and you just want to get your press nice and hot, right? So when I pre-press, I actually don't engage my press because I don't want to get a platen mark. I'll just kiss it for 4 or 5 seconds. That's all you need to do to preheat your garment. I have my 3M reflective transfer ready to go here. And sorry for my back to y'all. I am just going to line it up here. We get a lot of questions on placement. I've been doing this 20 years. I'm old school. My fingers work like a charm. My one finger is about an inch. I typically like 4 fingers left and right to make sure it's on there straight. I'll check the armpits. I typically like 3 fingers from my collar. Some people like 4 fingers. Some people like 3. You can use a ruler. My best recommendation to you though is don't overthink it and don't spend, if you're spending 5 minutes to line up one transfer, you got to rethink your business model. You're eating into your profit. You should a minute or less, you should be able to line that transfer up and go. You're gonna place your cover sheet on. We're at 325 for 20 seconds. We wanna be at a nice medium pressure. On our presses, medium is about a 5 to a 7. I really like 6, just a nice medium pressure. Again, 20-second dwell, and then this is a cold peel product, so I will set it to the side before we peel it. And it just looks so sharp on this particular garment. Any questions, Vicki, that have come up that Stefan and I might be able to answer?
Yes, actually, there's a few. I'm going to do the scorching question first, since it's relevant to what you're talking about right now.
Great.
I have the Hotronics Fusion IQ. If the heated platens can't work with mine, what do I use to prevent scorching?
That is a great question. So I'm going to answer that in a couple of parts. If you're using vinyl or digital transfers, you can use one of our flexible application pads. That is this fantastic little guy. Sorry, mine's ripped. But it's a thin, stretchy gray pad. Vicki, if you have time and you can put a link in the chat box, great. You guys can find these on our website. They're great, reusable, obviously. They really help prevent scorching. So if you're using vinyl or digital transfers from Stahls, you can use this. On average, you want to preheat this, get it nice and hot, and then double your dwell time. So if the recommended dwell time is 10 seconds, you want to go 20 seconds when you're using this. Unfortunately, you cannot use this with screen printed heat transfers from Transfer Express. So with that, you want to make sure you're selecting a nice low temperature product like our Elasti Prints, which applies at 290 degrees, or Ultra Color, which can apply at 290 degrees on synthetics as well. So that would be a great solution, is just making sure that you've got a little bit more of a flexible application pad with the vinyls and the digital prints, or you're just picking a nice low temp application for the screen printed transfers.
Great, thanks, Jennifer. It sounds like she is also doing quite a bit of sublimation and wants to know how to move away from scorching her garments when she is doing sublimation.
So Stefan might have some insight into this. My limited insight into sublimation: not all polyester is created equal. If you're using a really inexpensive, and for those of you that aren't aware, sublimation is a particular type of decoration that releases gases. So it's a very thin, it does not feel like anything on a garment. It's a beautiful printing process, but it is limited to polyester, 100% polyester, white. The more content of anything else, the print will look very muted and very faded. It won't be nice and rich and vibrant. And then obviously if you do it on anything other than white, again, this just comes out very muddy looking. It's not rich and vibrant. But if you use a good quality, and Stefan might have some suggestions, of good quality polyester, you tend to not get that browning, that scorching as badly. You can also rip the edges of the transfer sheet to kind of prevent that box mark from the edges of the transfer sheet in sublimation. Or, and this is not ideal because it costs money, but print your sublimation transfer oversized. So for example, if your print is this big, but your platen is 16 by 20, make the paper 16 by 20 so that it covers the whole garment, so that you have less of a chance of getting a platen mark on your garment. Do you have any styles, Stefan, that lend well to sublimation?
Yes, I mean, we have one brand that actually specializes in it, and it comes through LAT. It's the Double V line, and they're catching up just like everybody in this industry, but theirs was more an explosion of home crafters, of people working from home. So they're catching up on that in inventory. But Double V, you really put it all in a basket, Jennifer. You want to stick with very light colors, preferably white, 100% polyester. And then just like anything, when you start skewing away from the norm, you just have to try it over and over again, get into samples. And I know sometimes that raises costs, but the profitability on something like that, it's worth the investment of just kind of finding your way.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
Anything else, Vicki? Any other questions?
Yes, this one is for Stefan. Any unique recommendations for garments that include up to 20% spandex or lycra?
As far as, can you find these items? I'm confused, sorry.
If you have any product recommendations for a garment that has up to 20% spandex or lycra.
Yes. So you can go to our website, ssactivewear.com, and then our website has become so intuitive to pick up those things that you're looking for. And then our filter capability once that search gets your initial product up there, but there's a search bar and you could put that lycra in there or spandex and it will populate all of that product. Or if you're looking for simply as a certain color, you can go into the colors on the top of the toolbar, pick your color, and then a filter option will give you all fabrications that you're looking for, and then you can pick from that. So it'll say 100% cotton, 100% poly, 50-50, and then there could be, lycra in there, and then you can click on that and it'll populate everything that we have. So I hope that answers that.
The customer did clarify with a follow-up comment that he was also looking for some additional information on the decoration material or process that would be unique when using spandex.
Absolutely. That's a great question. So anytime you're dealing with any stretch fabrications, spandex, lycra, elastane, making sure that when you're selecting a heat transfer product, it can accommodate that percentage of stretch. Some great products that come to mind on the Stahls side. So in our vinyl category, Ultra Weed's got some nice stretch to it. My favorite, Premium Plus, has beautiful stretch and rebound. I mean, Vicki, we've put that on Lululemon Lycra yoga pants, and that product stretches beautifully and rebounds beautifully. So Ultra Weed Premium Plus, our silicone, which I'm going to demonstrate next, has beautiful stretch and rebound as well. So those would be some nice options in our vinyl. For our digital transfers, our soft opaque, and our opaque has really nice stretchability to it for a full color option. And then over at Transfer Express, we have a product specifically designed for stretch, and that's our Ultra Color Stretch. That's literally it's in the name. Guys, it's what I'm wearing on my sweatshirt. If you have not tried this product, run to request samples. It is such an amazing, beautiful product. And then I don't know if Josh has given any sneak peeks or any snippets, but stay tuned for a new product coming out November 1st at Stahls. I'm not going to mention any more about it, but check back November 1st. We've got a new product launching at Stahls, and it's also going to be able to accommodate nice stretch and rebound for that spandex lycra stuff. Vicki, I'm going to move on to the next garment, and then maybe in between that garment and the last garment, we can do more question and answer so I can let the press cool down even more. All right, guys, so 3M has cooled down. I am going to peel it. This product peels like butter, guys. It's just such a beautiful product. So you've got this amazing, reflective, ANSI certified, just beautiful product. Soft, breathable, but gives you that full reflectivity. It's just a great, fun product. You can do it, you know, like Stefan said, for all the workwear, construction, anything outdoors. But I mean, you know, just think even your athleisure brand customers, you know, your runners, your joggers, outdoor fitness is huge right now. Tapping into all of the fitness camps and Camp Gladiators and all of that, those types of customers. This would be a perfect fit for those types of customers. And again, this garment is just like butter. I absolutely love this garment. So, okay, I am going to move on to our next item here. This is the Paragon. This is the garment that Stefan was talking about. Again, you guys, just a great, it's hard to see in the video, and this is a size large, so it's a little hard, but what a great fit. This just has a sleeker cut to it than most kind of boxier 100% poly performance shirts. It's real lightweight, breathable, but really soft. It's just a really cool garment. And I wanted to pick red because, you know, red can be hard to decorate. Funny enough, I thought I had a white silicone, but it's actually black. But silicone is just a beautiful product. Again, it's got that rubberized feel to it, high stretch and rebound, dye migration blocker. You could put white on red and that puppy is not going to bleed. It's just not going to bleed. So again, I'm going to thread my garment on. Makes it super easy with my counter caddy tool. I've got my garment all threaded. I do want to preheat. It's got some wrinkles from, you know, shipping to me. So I'm going to cover it with my cover sheet. The silicone applies at 290 degrees for 12 seconds, medium pressure. So didn't have to change anything on my pressure. And then it's also a peel cold product. So I'm just going to kiss my garment so that I don't risk scorching it or damaging it. It only really needs to be under the heat one time when you actually engage it. Again, I'm going to do my lineup here to make sure that I'm straight. Again, you know, you want to take care, and if you need to use a ruler, that's fine. You just don't want to be spending, you know, I've seen some people, gosh, spending 5-10 minutes lining up their transfer, and it's just not, it's not cost effective to run a business that way. You know, if you're doing one, okay, but if you've got 100 to do, it's just not going to work. I don't think that was 12 seconds, was it? Yeah, it was. So again, this is a cold peel product. We're going to set it to the side and let it completely cool before we peel it. Vicki, any other questions for us?
Just for Stefan, could you please repeat the style number and garment that you recommended for sublimation, please?
The name of the brand was Sub La Vie. So if you go to our website, ssactivewear.com, just go to brands and then go to the letter S, and then just, you'll see it there, Sublivie, Sub La Vie.
Very cool. I didn't even know that existed. That's great.
Yeah, they sure were popular in 2020, you know, with everybody at home.
Yeah.
If we have a minute here, before I forget, I wanted to bring up another benefit of the two shirts that we just did. So the 42,000, the Gildan, and the Paragon, they both have Tearaway labels. And Tearaway labels is really, it's basically becoming the norm because it allows you to then capitalize on another decoration opportunity. And so many people are doing custom. So if you look at Infinity Fitness, you could then get a pad, you know, a transfer onto the back, Infinity Fitness size large, and then the content of the shirt, and it just gives it that extra custom feel. So Tearaway labels are big. I just didn't want to forget that. I'm going to put that in.
Absolutely. And I don't know, Vicki, if Josh or any of the other sessions are demoing our tag-along platen, but that segues right into our tag-along platen. I wish I had one, but they're like gold these days. I'm trying to get one. If you guys haven't seen them and you have a Hotronix heat press, definitely check it out. Check out the videos. You can just type in tag-along platen at Stahls TV, and probably 5 videos will populate. So it's a platen that you can drop into your Hotronix heat press. It's got your regular platen portion, but then it has a little area right here for your tagless label. And you just flip up the shirt, tear away the label, and then you can press your design, your full front design, and your tagless label at the same time. It's brilliant. It's
beautiful.
Yeah. So it makes branding, you know, making your own branded garments so simple. And then you can order tagless labels over at transferexpress.com in the Goof Proof. Very, very easy. All right. So the next garment that we're going to do, the last one today, is the Augusta garment. Again, just a great fit. I really am liking these fits. They're so much sleeker. I just think they're a little bit more modern, I guess you could say, for lack of better words. I really wanted to showcase white on these darker garments, right? So I had pre-applied our Ultra Weed white to the back, just so you guys can see. I mean, nice and vibrant, so lightweight, almost doesn't feel like anything on the garment. And then I'm gonna showcase our coral color on the front. And you can get really kind of creative with your placements as well. I might do something a little fun with this one and see kind of how it turns out. This product, the Ultra Weed, as I had mentioned earlier, and I think Jenna demonstrated it in her session, is our lowest temperature product. So it is ideal for those heat sensitive fabrics. So for the person that asked, you know, hey, I've got my Fusion and I can't use the Power Platens, he or she is correct. Our Power Platens are not compatible with the Fusion. Selecting a product like Ultra Weed would really help solve your problems because it applies at 260 degrees, which honestly shouldn't scorch 99% of the polyesters out there on the market. So I've turned my heat press down. It's slowly inching down. We're at 270. Ultra Weed does apply at 260 to 285. So there's a range in there. A lot of people ask, why? Why do you have such a range like that? And it really boils down to your fabric content. The more cotton, the higher temperature you need to go. So when there's a range, when we put a range on a product, the higher range is always going to be geared for cotton. The lower temperature range is always going to be geared for the performance synthetics, your polyesters, your tri-blends, your nylons, that sort of thing. So again, we're going to just thread this on here. I'm going to preheat. And Stefan, I would say this one's probably our lightest weight one in terms of like ounces. It's so thin.
Yes, it is. It's super thin. It's 3.7 ounce. And so that's 100%, 100% polyester, wicking, and that fit you mentioned earlier. Augusta has been developing the 790. It's been their #1. And so they do have a new fit on there, which is
it's so cool. And let's do something a little fun, guys. I mean, hey, a lot of us can do a full front graphic on a shirt, right? But stepping outside that box, offering unique locations on a garment really helps to upsell your business. Sometimes you just can't screen print and embroider certain locations that you can achieve with a heat press. So let's do right here. This is the right way. I'm going to do it down kind of the side here. And we're just at about 260. 12-second dwell. And this one is a hot peel, guys. So once the machine releases, I'll remove the cover sheet and I'll go ahead and hot peel it. Yeah, that looks beautiful. And again, just peels like butter. What a cool piece.
Wow.
Yeah. Just such a cool piece, again, thinking outside the back. You've got your back yoke, you put, well, not a tagless label on this one, but you could do sleeve, you could do, I've seen a lot on the shoulder blade, and really, truly just such a soft, it doesn't even feel like anything on the garment. So really breathable, just lends well to working out, outdoors, playing sports, like you said, fishing, boating, water sports. It's just so breathable and lightweight. It just feels like nothing on the body. So really, really conducive for your performance polyester fabrics.
It's super.
Yeah, and let me see if this one is ready to peel here. Oh, yeah. Now with the silicone, because it's thick, it kind of wants to grab when you peel it, so you just kind of want to peel with care. Look how good that, oops, the H. Oh my goodness, it was weeded out, guys. So this is a tip for any of you guys that cut your own vinyl. This is a hard lesson to learn. So the H was actually weeded out and I didn't notice it. I had weeded the H out, or a little portion of the H out. So what I would do to salvage this is I would take a little piece of vinyl and I would put it there, cover the whole thing and press for 12 seconds and then just finish out my H. That's kind of how I would fix that. That's why vinyl, because it's really forgiving.
I like it the way it looks. I mean, it's
yeah. And it's just got this really cool kind of rubberized, a little loft to it. So a little bit of texture and dimension to it. Not much, but man, it is really cool. So yeah.
That looks so good. No, so many people like that because so many of the branded items at retail, you know, have a raised logo. So when you get that silicone and then, like you said, stretch, rebound, and it's there, it's such a great added value.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a great point. What Stefan mentioned, a lot of you guys will walk into a Dick's or any sort of retail and, you know, your Adidas, your Nike, their little pops of branding is raised. It's got like dimension to it. So our silicone is a great option. It's a 200 micron thickness, so not super thick, but a little bit of dimension. If you're really looking to match kind of that branding that like Adidas, Under Armour, Nike has, you're going to want to look at our soft foam. That is a 600 micron thickness. So really jumping it up in terms of the loft or the dimension. It's a beautiful product. So if you're really looking to match that branding, soft foam is a great option and it applies at a nice low temp. So it's great for performance polyester.
looks great.
Yeah.
Hey, I go back to, you said it's just like baking. This is much easier than baking for me because I mean, I can't bake. So
I can't either.
This is a blessing for me. I'm like, I can heat press.
Yeah. That's the beauty of heat press is, you know, you don't, in my humble opinion, you know, learning to embroider and learning to screen print is a really honed skill. It takes time. It takes a lot of practice. You know, it's very expensive. It takes up a ton of room. So to become a screen printer or an embroiderer, I mean, it's hard. It's a huge learning curve. A heat press, you're in it for, you know, a couple $1,000s and you're off to the races. You're in business. You can do everything a screen printer can do with a heat press. So in my opinion, it's a no-brainer when you're getting into decorated apparel.
Love it.
Yeah.
Questions?
Do we have any, Vicki?
Oh, we just had one. Someone had asked if Stahls sells the tag so we can replace the Tearaway. I did let the person know that you can create your own artwork and order the tagless label from Stahls or Transfer Express if either of you wanted to expand on that.
Absolutely. So you can either create your own tagless label artwork and upload it and order either at Stahls or at Transfer Express. But Transfer Express also has, I want to say, at least 4, maybe 6 different templated layouts. So everything's already done for you. You just plug and play. You plug in, you know, what brand you want it to say, made in the USA or wherever it's being made. You can add sizing, fabric content. You don't need to add any of that. You can add a website. So it's really cool. They've got these tagless label templates. So if you go to transferexpress.com, create an account, you'll have free access to the EasyView online design tool. And in there, you can put in the search feature, tagless labels or shirt tag labels as well. And they've got a lot of templates that you can use.
I like it.
And if you know, kind of this getting into the nitty gritty, but I really like when I'm doing tagless labels using gray, either our metallic silver is beautiful, or just I believe it's our cement. We've got another stock gray color. Gray is great because it works on lights, it works on darks, and if you do the metallic silver, it works on gray. So it kind of has like a tonal look to it, but it's really universal so that you're not constantly having to change the color of the tagless label based on the color of the garment. So I really like using either metallic silver or a gray.
Yeah, and it's such an upgrade to the.
Absolutely. For nothing, for pennies. Yeah. Yep. And now with the tag along, you can apply it at the same time. So you're not having to double apply things. So it's great.
It's all solutions. So
yeah.
I like it.
Well, we finished a little early. If any of you guys have any additional questions, Vicki, I forgot to do this, I apologize. If you can put Stefan's email address in the chat and my email address, you guys are welcome to reach out to us offline. There's also, I highly, highly recommend you guys take advantage of this and ask the expert icon in the Plathable platform. So you can go in and request a 15-minute call with any of us. You can ask us, private questions in the private message. It's a really great feature of this platform. So utilize that, send us messages, whatever is easiest for all of you. We're here to help you guys succeed. That's really our goal.
I love it.
Cool.
Thank you for having me on. I learned something every single time. And it's
awesome.
It's a lot
and
of fun.
I learned something too. So it's great. I love working with you, Stefan. Thank you so much. We appreciate S&S so much for always willing to participate and donating these great garments. It's awesome. So
good stuff.
Anything else, or are we?
Jen, if you wouldn't mind just touching briefly on our custom cutting services.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's probably for those of you that are brand new, maybe this is your first segue into Stahls and Transfer Express. It can be a little confusing. We have two divisions. Well, I should say three divisions, Poptronics. We have two divisions. We have the Stahls division and Transfer Express division. You will set up two separate account numbers. They are two separate websites and two separate logins. All things Stahls is what we call heat transfer vinyl. Our name for our vinyl, our brand name is called CAD-Cut. Anything that you want to do, you can order through our services at Stahls. So people really know Stahls for names and numbers, and then ordering vinyl by the yard to cut on their own cutter. Well, some of you that are just starting out don't have a cutter. You don't even know what a cutter is. You don't even know how to cut vinyl. That's totally okay. You can send your artwork to us and we can send you a ready to heat apply, heat transfer, just like you saw me doing. We can either do that in our vinyl or we can do that in full color digital transfers as well. And then we have a new feature that we've had out on the market, probably for about 4 months now, that is our online designer. So we've got this really cool designer. If you're not an artist or you don't even know where to start, you don't know how to create artwork, or you're just needing some help with some ideas, check out our online designer. It is amazing. It's all of these really cool templates, fully customizable, hundreds of font options, colors, all sorts of great stuff in there. So check that out. But that's our CAD-Cut services is what that means. You either send us artwork or you design it in our design tool, and then we send you a ready to heat apply, heat transfer. No cutting, no weeding involved. Hopefully I explained that enough.
That was perfect. And that concludes all of our questions.
Great. Well, thank you, Vicki, for manning the chats. Like we said, you can still ask questions in the chat feature. This will be recorded. You guys will have links to this. And make sure you check out those marketing kits. They're awesome. And if you're in the market for a new heat press, check those out as well.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone.